in the saga of Bitcoin's rise, there may be a big problem. You know, RFK and Donald Trump has both been talking about making Bitcoin a national reserve or national strategic reserve. Well, there is one big problem with that. And the thing is, like, if we do make it a national strategic reserve, it will be a national security risk unless it is truly decentralized. Now, some of you might be saying, but Bitcoin is already truly decentralized. Not really. I mean, if we take a look at this article and others have actually explored, Bitcoin decentralization is a matter of national security. Right now, maybe not. Yes, Bitcoin has a market cap of $500 billion, but it's really affecting the Bitcoin investors. But however, if we do make it a strategic reserve, like RFK or Donald Trump wants it to make it, this might actually be a problem, basically. And the problem arises with that a lot of Bitcoin's hash rate is accumulated in just a couple of hash pools. And to make it worse, many of those hash pools are in China, which is obviously an adversary of the United States. So we can't have that. Maximizing Bitcoin decentralization throughout the entirety of the stack is a matter of national security, Rajiv Khemani, co-founder and CEO of mining chip manufacturer Auradine, told Cointelegraph. The CEO explained that third-party firmware, which updates and changes over time, could theoretically be used to compromise the energy grid or launch a 51% attack on the Bitcoin network. And he did actually outline a solution. Anytime you have hardware, software, firmware from a foreign entity connected to your energy infrastructure, which is what Bitcoin has essentially become, you have to make sure that you are doing the proper due diligence and risk mitigation. So he wants to manufacture the miners in the United States. Now, that's another vector of attack. Obviously, if China or Russia is supplying us with Bitcoin miners, they can put something in the software that could technically spy on us or maybe even disrupt our monetary network, thereby putting us at a strategic disadvantage. So actually producing the Bitcoin hardware in the United States is actually a good idea. So there's not many ways to spy or stealing coins through the mining software, the Auradine executive said, dispelling an earlier claim made by U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren that foreign crypto miners could spy on U.S. military bases. That's not going to work, but it could actually affect the monetary flow of the United States if we have foreign miners mining Bitcoin and they put something in that software. He concluded by arguing that the U.S. should enforce policies that encourage domestic manufacturing of ASIC hardware and that no one country should control a majority of the total hash power or hardware supply. But my major concern is this one. So in May 2024, it was reported that just two mining pools, Antpool and Foundry, controlled more than 50% of the network hash rate. And I think Antpool is actually located in China. Later, and I actually mentioned this about a month or two ago in September, CryptoQuant founder Qijang Zhu noted that Chinese mining pools accounted for 55% of the hash rate, and that's a lot. They could technically launch a 51% attack. However, it is somewhat inaccurate to say that because the Bitcoin miners participating in the China-based mining pools are geographically distributed. However, if these Chinese mining pools were to launch a 51% attack, and the government does it in secret, we don't know about it, it would actually take a while to figure out what's actually going on. And by that time, they would have already double spent a lot of the Bitcoin. So that is somewhat of a problem. So the thing is, like, right now, it may not be much of a problem. It only really affects people that invest in Bitcoin and crypto, and that might not matter enough as a matter of the whole economy to make this a big deal. But, if we were to make it a strategic reserve, that would be a big deal, because just imagine people double spending our strategic reserve because the Bitcoin hash rate is way too concentrated at this point. And there's more and more mentions among both parties, at least in the House of Representatives, about making Bitcoin or storing Bitcoin as a U.S. strategic reserve. So this is something that really does need to be paid attention to, because if we're going in that direction, we need to resolve these problems as we go along, not just get there, create a strategic reserve, and then be like, oh, looks like Russia and China are double spending us, because that would be really bad. And like I said, even though you can get some of these miners to shift away from the Chinese mining pools, it would take time, and by that time, the damage would have already been done. So this is a major challenge facing Bitcoin, because at its core, the mining hash rate of Bitcoin is not very decentralized. A lot of the mining power is actually absorbed by like a couple of big companies, and especially the big mining pools. So I don't really know how we're going to resolve this, but if I do want us to resolve this so Bitcoin can indeed become a strategic reserve, not just for the United States, but for a lot of countries. And we need the mining distributed in many countries, not the United States, not China, not Russia, but in many countries around the world. So no one country can actually take it over. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.